Axie fam is in the house. What up, Axie fam? Let's get into this video. So I feel like it's okay to share this now that they fixed it. Okay, so we're playing Navaga. Our opponent also is playing Navaga. They're playing like a Shady Exchange Blunt Teeth. So we are playing Rise and Ruin. So the way this was working for a little bit is we could use Tricky to copy the green card on Rise and Ruin, right? So the way this is worded, it says retain, heal and cleanse all allies. If there's at least one non-debuffed allied Axie, apply sleep for 3 turns to a random Axie, right? So if you have nothing that gets cleansed, put something to sleep. We're putting Navaga on this backliner, and we are also playing the Blunt Teeth, right? This is right after they had changed Blunt Teeth to make it only 15 and not 33%. Huge difference, right? So the idea is we get this backliner, get the Navaga active, and then all of his abilities cost 1 less. And that also includes the Forest Breath and Forest Wrath. Okay, so let's watch this game as it develops. So our opponent is playing the Navaga on the Shady Exchange Boy. All the extra energy fragments he gets would go into that. But it's kind of a nombo because you don't get any points at the beginning. So here we use Tricky to get our Innocent Lamb, and we get Innocent Lamb to target the Forest Breath. Can't do that anymore. But now we have 2 Forest Breaths in our deck, right? So we use the cleanse, put his guy in the middle to sleep. So this is where it's gonna start getting nutty, right? We also have the Sea Slug, the double Sea Slug to get the like extra sleep or cleanse triggers. Goldfish for the extra energy fragments, trying to get our guy up. So he's already up to 10. Go ahead and use a mint. That doesn't count as a cleanse. It's applying a cleanser. Difference, right? Opponent with Risky Fish does a lot of damage there. Carrot Hammer gets his guy up to 5, right? Go ahead and hit with the Kataro. Tons of energy, getting lots of fragments here, but he's losing some to the Shady Exchange trigger. So look, our hand is full of all these cards that belong to our backliner, but that's not going to be a problem, right? So we're going to try to remove some stuff on here. So we only need 5 more energy fragments to trigger the Navaga on our backliner, and once that happens, it's over for our opponent. Okay, so you know what's about to happen here. So good Kataro, I guess, getting some fragments. He's gonna start receiving the bonus fragments. We have a full hand of 10, right? So go in Oranda, and we get 2 fragments. We only need 3 fragments. Sea Slug, oh, and there we go. And now all of those cards cost 0. And now we get to use all these Forest Breaths for 0 energy a pop. So we just use them all the Forest Wraths, kill his midliner, and now we get a Risky Fish, play a Cucumber Slice for free, now we played that there, we left 1 though, because we only get the Forest Wrath once per turn, but we can Forest Breath to put 1 to sleep as many times as we play it, right? So if we have 7 of those, we could do it 7 times, right? So this is when we're still having that weird like kissing bug, you know, where it's like, so we're gonna play 3 free cards this round. Oranda, get rid of the buffs on our opponent. We forget about so we go ahead and use that. Use the cleanse, puts the guy to sleep. Use another one, and it doubles their sleep. And this has all been fixed, right? But 6 turns of sleep, so he's gonna get 2 cards canceled. Every time we have a cycle, we're gonna put 2 of his Axies to sleep if he can't put any debuffs on us, right? So go and Sea Slug, get a cleanse, Forest Wrath trigger. Sometimes the Forest Wraths are only 1 energy, like they should be. Sometimes they're 0 energy, so it's kind of like, yeah. Go and shield up our front. Go and play the Sirius for free. Why not? Pass it to our opponent. Our opponent has 2 Axies, but he can't really do a whole lot. I mean, what's he gonna do? Shield up? Maybe hit our guy with the Ronin. Like, it doesn't matter. We're playing a bunch of cards for free, and yeah. Game number 2. I realize my hair's all crazy. So our opponent is playing this like, kind of capitalizing on this. They buffed this significantly since once per game if this guy discards a card, that card gets minus 15% to its stats for the rest of the match. If he discards his own cards, those cards get bonus 15% stats the rest of the match. So there, we got really lucky, and he got our Dino with the trigger. So our Dino is now at 51 damage base for the rest of the match. So kind of funny. So here, this team, it's been tweaked. So this team is all about capitalizing on this, right? So we're playing the Pure Instinct, which gives us plus 10, right? Additional 5% per class. So we only get plus 10. So this gives us plus 10, so plus 20. And this gives us plus 25. So plus 45% damage to our single attacks. So we are loaded up with Sandal in this guy. And we're putting a bunch of cuckoos on him. And we're one-shotting people. Like, it's so good. If this guy was... This guy could have been somebody else. I have a beast with cuckoo, so if I was playing the beast, we'd get another bonus 5, quite a bit of damage. We can't speed this up because this is the alpha replay, so it's a little. So Pagona, not a big deal. Getting some spikes. Spikes are actually very, very good this season. Very underrated. Incisor is very good. Does 20 damage, but you're going to heal 15 because it applies 3 spikes, right? So it really only does 5 damage to an ally. Really anything about it. So there's a 276 damage. And that was him having a debuff and us just hitting him with it. The unfortunate part is Celestial Might banishes the cards once we've used them twice. So once we use the Sandal twice, it's going to get exiled. And that's why we're running Tricky, right? It's Tricky on the eyes. So we can swap this for the Sandal once we have the Sandal exiled. So our opponent thinking hard about his turns. What's weird about the Origins replay system is it's like exactly how it happened in the match, right? If my opponent like spammed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and it did all those things and passed the turn, that's how it would do it. If he thought 30 seconds between Parasite and Ear Breathing, it'll show that in the replay. Yeah, so like he dumps another card, and it's funny because the card he dumped at that time also was our Tiny Dino, right? So we have the Tricky, so we can buy something back. We can buy the Koi back. So here's a big Koi. Koi very, very strong to 201 damage. So that's only like 100.5 damage per energy. Not even that good. Earwing's better. Empowered Believer is better. You know, Tri-Spikes, Tri-Feather, Topaz, all of those do more damage than that per energy, right? Playing some cuckoos here. We have them with the Scotch tape only because we want to play them, but if we have other stuff to play, we'll play that first and then cuckoos second. So, but here we're just playing the goo because we don't want to draw it. We know he has a ton of shields, just based off our history with this playing against this guy. So we're just gonna use some debuffs and hit him with the balloon. Let's see if he gets the hex. He'll dump a bunch of garbage into his deck. We debated for a long time using the incisors on the backliner, but I didn't want to blow the cuckoo because I wanted to use it with a Sandal, and so I wanted those very rewarding Sandal hits. I'm pretty sure this will get changed before we get to the season because it is so strong. Especially now that we've seen the Topaz teams. A Dawn with Nemo, Topaz, and then like some banish stuff. And then this enables us to banish other cards as well. Making the Topazes like really strong very quickly, right? So another cuckoo coming down. We don't have any attacks on our Dawn. Not a big deal. Decided to go ahead and use the goldfish before using the skill cards, right? I mean, we would have had Tricky in hand still, but so our opponent can shield up like crazy this turn. Snail Shell, Pincer, Curve Spine. He's thinking long and hard. Goes and plays the Tricky, buys back his Bookworm. He can use his Bookworm to tutor for his Ear Breathing, which is what he does here. Plays the Snail Shell. Gonna put tons, absolutely tons of shields on this guy. All of his debuffs are gonna end this turn, which sucks if we draw Sandal, right? So we have to draw a debuff this turn. We draw Frizzard. Sweet. Frizzard. That's a debuff. Sandal. for 406. I mean, we got the 2 cuckoos, so like, yeah, whatever. Finish him off with a risky fish. Pass it to our opponent. So now, the good thing now is the sandal's been used twice. It's now in our banish zone. So Tricky is basically sandal in her hand, right? So we get to get like tutor for sandal. It's so good. I had so much fun playing this deck. It was so good to like just like randomly one shot. So here he is, Tricky. I mess up here, and I think I have one more energy, right? Because in the alpha, in the test server, the cards cover the energy, and I just wasn't following my energy. And I was like, oh, so I go and use the cuckoo, and I'm like, oh, well, now I can't sandal. That's awkward. Retain the sandal here. Okay, yeah. It's been a while since these. I didn't want to release any of these until this stuff was kind of patched. This kind of like mild compared to the other stuff. Opponent shielding up here, revenge sword. Go ahead and hits us with a revenge sword instead of attacking, which is kind of weird. So here we go. That's a fatality. Sleepless to apply the vulnerable. And here's a double cuckoo, empowered sandal. Are you ready for this? 469. This deck, tons of fun. Just a quick video coming from Dewgs. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you in the next video.